out there. That's how Jamie only says his intros. Welcome in. It's Nola Day. Back on the mound. Was that a pretty good Jamie Lynch impression?
I think I say welcome in, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
That's a Bo Wolf entrance to the show. That's how Bo does it.
Is hello, everybody.
That's kind of what she was going for, right?
You're pretty.
I think I say welcome in to the PHLY.
No, you say hello a lot too.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, hello is a greeting.
Yeah, it is. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Renee says,
nice to see you
nerds?
again. Long time no see.
What's up,
for
cool
everybody
kids?
that got to hang with us yesterday. It was not a great day, but we did have fun on our pregame, watch along, and postgame show. And we're back again this morning to look ahead, start previewing the final game of this Red Sox series to see if Aaron Nola and the Phillies can close out, get another series win, which would be their 13th series that they would win if they are able to win tonight. And then, of course, we'll start looking ahead to the weekend as they face the Orioles. They've been great against AL opponents. So got some numbers, got some interesting things to share with you guys. So for Tyler Zulli, Jamie Lynch, myself, Renee Washington, so happy to have you guys here with us. Chris Lemmer, Frank, Daniel, Zach, great to see all of you guys. We're back. So things today, we've got to get into the pitching matchup, previewing the game. Also, now that we've had a chance to sleep on last night, any lingering thoughts?
Yeah, I have a regret. I think Dusty Watham messed up. A Nick Castellanos inside the park home run is something special. I think that should have happened. I don't know why I didn't send him. I think that was a mess up because that might be like a little bit of adrenaline to that bench a little bit. Like how many inside the park? Tyler, you're our stats nerd. Can you dive into it? How many inside the park home runs does Nick Castellanos have in his career? I would guess one. I wouldn't think
I don't
more
think it's
than
high.
that. So I think that would have been like a pretty fun thing, and he would have been safe by a mile, even without the bobble. I think so. That's my one regret.
The thing is, I'm not sure they would have considered it an inside the park home run. They may have ended up calling
he had rounded third
a triple with
the
an error.
bobble.
It's possible.
Right.
I mean, scoring this year has been so messed up that I have no idea what's like the hit versus error
Sound like
thing.
Ricky Bo now.
Well, he's right. It's just
I know he's right.
mess.
I know he's right.
So I honestly have no idea if they would have even ruled it an inside the park home run. But yes, I can look into it for you.
I can't imagine he has many.
Of
so
what
that's
it
my
would be
regret.
ruled and considered, one thing it would have been ruled is a run. And that would have been a really good opportunity as the game had been slumping. It went from like Phillies up 4-0 to the 5-for-5 fifth inning to just the Phillies struggling. And in that moment, it could have been enough to, get some life and some juice back into the team. Yeah, exactly. So it is one of those plays that you look back on, and in the moment, it was an exciting play. It was a highlight play. It was one of the few things we had to be excited about at that stretch, because what inning was that? The 7th? I don't remember. But at that point in the game,
the Red Sox are kind of like
the Phillies were very
flat.
Open.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that looking back, as you mentioned, even without the bobble, you go. I mean, that was a great play that Nick made. Nick's been fantastic. We'll get into his numbers as well. It's been great to see how well he's been playing as of late. So yeah, that is one of those plays to look back on. There was another one. I know Whit Merrifield had a weird play. There were some errors on the defensive side that were just very sloppy. And so in addition to the play there where you're not as aggressive, defensively, there's definitely some plays that you'd love to have back that were costly.
Yeah, it was just kind of overall just one of those, it's baseball, 162 games.
Yeah.
We talked about all the travel. Like, that was eventually going to catch up with them a little bit. I think maybe that affects, there's two. Christopher Sanchez was not sharp last night. His changeup and fastball, Rob even said after the game, he was not commanding it well.
Right.
We saw him in the 3rd and 4th inning start to labor a little bit there, let some guys on base, and I think they started hitting that changeup. And when that happens for Sanchez, he's probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. And then the other guy that kind of got rocked was Spencer Turnbull, and I can't even really blame him because he hadn't pitched in 10 days. Right. He goes out west. He comes back east. He goes to London. He goes back east.
Not pitching. And
not pitching. Like probably throwing, on the side. But like that's a tough spot to be thrown into a high leverage situation when you haven't thrown in 10 days. So I can't even be upset with him. So all in all, you just kind of chalk it up to mostly it was the pitching last night. When the Phillies score 6 runs, they're typically gonna be in a game more than they were. They're typically gonna win said game. So you just kind of chalk it up to the pitchers were funky and off. The defense was crap. And now we look forward to today and winning the series at Fenway. And if you like pitching matchups, like this is good stuff. This whole week is good stuff.
It is.
It's just a shame that it comes on the heels of this wacky travel schedule.
That's the key, because the same thing about the Orioles series. Now, we don't know what the Phillies are going to look like by that part, but I'd love to see both of these series when the Phillies are a little bit more in their routine. Mm-hmm. I won't even say rested. Nobody's rested in baseball. You're playing every day. But I think this is actually too much rest, too much travel, too much that's been on their plates. And as you talk about, when Rob was making those comments about Chris last night and saying, how he wasn't mixing his pitching, he was behind his count, he just wasn't. It was just one of those nights. We could argue that for a number of guys, that it was just one of those nights, Spencer Turnbull being one of them. And I know we've talked a lot about Zach Wheeler specifically needing to stay on that same routine and how he struggles with an extra day rest. Well, there's a number of guys in the bullpen alone that have had extra days, over a week rest. When you look at 10 days without pitching, that's a very long time.
Yeah, you can't expect
you
positive
don't
results,
have. I mean, when in the course of a season, as somebody that's anybody in the bullpen, do you have 10 days or even more than a week that you go without pitching unless you're injured? So it's just wild to think about all these factors that the Phillies are working through, and they still did have a close game. They still were up, but you could just see as the game wore on, the life just kind of like hit them. It's kind of like when you're up, like the girls. I'm sure if they're up too late, after a while they just hit a wall and they just crash. I felt like the Phillies in that moment yesterday just kind of crashed a little bit.
When they're overtired and cranky and energized.
That's true.
And you're like,
that's true,
dear
actually.
God, strap in.
Please go to sleep. Right. But that's what I feel like the Phillies hit that wall last night. And for some of them, it was more of a crash. For some, it was more of just like the cranky, tired. I'm going to say those mistakes were like the cranky side. So, yeah, I think we can honestly look at this game last night, understanding, and now look ahead. I think it's going to help them reset. It's going to like wake them up a little bit, get them going to be able to close out the series today. But
before we move on to Nola versus Houck, which is a great one today, we didn't see it last night in the post-game show. It came out kind of like on our drive home.
Yeah.
The Nick Castellanos talking to the umpire thing was effing hilarious. So if you missed it, Nick Castellanos got called for a pitch clock violation, and I guess the umpire was meek-mouthed about a warning or whatever. I guess they have to give a warning. And Nick Castellanos said, as a little respect for somebody that's been in the league for 10 years, you're going to have to fucking speak up, brother. Perfect. Like, that is Nick Castellanos, because he does it in a way that's like endearing.
Yeah.
But like while making his point. I thought it was like perfect Castellanos. Like, hey, man, show me some fucking respect here.
But I like that because when you look at the video, you have no idea what he's saying.
He's close up to him.
He's up close. They're
animated,
chatting. You can tell. You can tell he's very animated. Whatever he's saying is like, he's. It's not. There's something being said there, but it was very firm and very effective. But it was also very accurate. I mean, at 32 years old for Nick Castellanos, like, he's seen some things and he's been around the game long enough. He's like, all right, come on now. Like, come on, man. And in that moment, it was like you're checking him. And as we've talked so much about, I know people have complained in our chats and also on social media about the umps and the calls. And, it's just been really all over the place this year. So I don't even mind him in that moment, kind of like, listen, man. Listen, bro. Like, let's get it together. So it was,
speak up, brother.
Nick Castellanos has continued to give us some great moments.
Did you watch Lost?
I wasn't a huge fan of Lost.
Tyler, did you watch Lost?
I know it at least.
Yeah, the first like 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay, so
and
Desmond,
then it
the
fell
Scottish
off
guy,
really quick. Yeah,
he called everybody brother.
See, you say it now the way you said it. All I think of is the dude, the Tuesday guy. Special teams, special players. That guy. He goes, "What's up, brother?"
Yeah, what's up, brother? Show me some fucking respect, brother.
And so I listen. You earned it, Nick. You're demanding respect.
It was funny.
Nick's numbers lately. I know we'll talk about the pitching matchup specifically, but another thing to keep an eye on is Nick and the numbers that he's been putting up as of late, because
he's on a tear.
He is absolutely on a tear.
We've declared him back, Renee.
He is back. I mean, in
Sir
the
Anthony
month of June, it is only
back.
June 3rd. Oh boy, in the start of June, 36 at bats. He's had 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. We'll talk about his inside the park home runs because I know Tyler's got that number. 5 RBIs, 3 walks, and his splits, a 250, 308, 556, and 863 OPS compared to how he was even a month ago. He's definitely back. I mean, he's been on a nice tear where he's hit in pretty much he's averaging a couple hits a game, a home run or an RBI every other game, at least one. So, and he's also had some big moments. Unfortunately, I think for Nick is you still look at moments like last night he had another weak hit. Obviously Sunday to end the game, it was his bat.
Crap bat exploded.
Yeah, but those are fluke things.
Rich had in his morning newsletter, which by the way, you should definitely subscribe to. It's on allphly.com. Rich Hoffman, that is, and it's free and it's in your inbox every morning. And it's not Phillies specific. It's Philly and sports, basically a roundup of everything you need to know. He had this stat in there this morning. Alec Boehm, we talked about him missing Brandon Marsh and kind of the slump he's been in, and he's looked a little lost up there lately. And Nick Castellanos, well, they flip-flopped. Since May 1st, Castellanos' OPS is now 746. Alec Boehm's has dropped to 601. What a world. Baseball is weird. Boehm needs to figure it out. Castellanos has figured it out. We've declared him back. We'll see if a couple other guys can, we can say it with our chest soon. I think one more Sir Anthony start or appearance, and I'll say it with my chest on him. But Boehm needs Marsh. He needs, to get back home. He's struggling lately.
He is. And I do think, though, for both of them, they're consistent because something I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday. This is actually what we've seen from Nick and from Boehm over the last years. Like Nick traditionally is a guy that's a slumping and then burst out of the slump at his grade. And he's very up and down. He's very roller coaster casty. And then on the other side, you've got Alec Boehm, who actually the last couple of years has been great in the first months of the season, especially April, May, and then kind of dipped a little bit as pitchers started making adjustments to him. Obviously still top of the league in RBIs, still has had a fantastic season so far. And I do hope that once they get back home and once he can be reunited with Brandon Marsh, who we could be seeing hopefully the next week, that we'll get Alec Boehm kind of returning back to being Raffy, being, light, fun, clean
Raffy,
third base and playing great. Yeah.
Well, there is a Raffy t-shirt that is now out on allphly.com. You can grab that. Jeffrey from Toys R Us going yard as Raffy. Our new nickname, well, not our new nickname, the team's new nickname for Alec Boehm. So you can grab that shirt, allphly.com.
I feel like it would be really hard for Jeffrey from Toys R Us to hit consistently. His strike zone would be massive.
Yeah, your neck.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's getting to anything down and away.
No,
he's got to catch an inside fastball and turn on it.
Oh, I never finished telling you my klepto story from Kids R Us yesterday.
Wait a minute. Before you do that, Tyler, give us the Nick numbers that you pulled, and then we'll go into your. Yeah, so I'm going to steal this moment from you and give it to Tyler.
I was able to find one instance of Castellanos with an inside the park home run when he was back with Detroit. I don't know if there was definitively any more or less, but he definitely does have at least one inside the park home run in his career.
I figured it was one, but there's no chance there was more.
No. All right. Jamie, we're ready now. Tell us about your thievery.
I stole an Oscar the Grouch trash can figurine from Kids R Us.
Kids R Us.
I think it was Kids R Us.
Wait,
maybe it was Toys R Us.
Wait,
I was there with my mom and my sister.
Was there Kids R Us?
Yeah, there was a Kids R Us. Yeah,
I remember. Okay. Anyways,
either way, one of the two stories.
They all need to come back.
I stole an Oscar the Grouch figurine. We got home. My mom realized it was not one of our toys and was like, "Where did you get this?" And I eventually had to fess up that I took it from the store. And what did she do? She marched me back to the store, made me walk up to the cashier and admit that I had stole it. And it was a great shaming.
How old are you?
I don't know.
You sound
actually.
young. You sound very young.
I want to say
still Oscar the
I want to say 7 or 8, maybe.
Okay.
6, 7.
Wow.
Like
so you started young and you're.
Yeah, and then she shamed me out of my kleptoism.
That was the last time you stole anything?
Well, I mean, probably not, but for the most part.
For anybody that
It's
missed
okay.
it last night.
This is a safe space, a trust tree, if
the
you
problem
will.
with that is the only thing that Jamie learned was to not get caught.
Pretty much.
He didn't learn a lesson. He just learned
All
don't
I
get
got from
caught.
that.
It kind of stopped.
It sounds like it didn't.
You guys
stop.
make me feel like the weirdo for having a klepto phase as a kid.
We were talking
a lot
about
of people
this
in the
last
chat.
night in the watch along. For those that missed it, Robert, Zach, Philly 007, Greg. I'm curious, Karen, if anybody else had a.
Yeah, you guys have stolen stuff. Come on. This is a safe space.
But listen, Jamie, you've come a very long way. I'm proud of you. I think
First acceptance admission, Renee.
Yeah. You know, you've come a long way from the guy that was stealing to the guy that's throwing back Miller Lights.
Oh, wow. Jeez. You know, when you're first, I don't set you up, Renee. But every time I'm first, you always have to awkwardly lead me into one.
Is that awkward? I thought I was helping. I feel like I'm.
Well, I didn't have the read in front of
you.
me. So.
Oh, you just weren't ready.
But I don't really need a read to tell you about my good friends at Miller Lite. It's cold, delicious, and only 96 calories. It's the original light beer since 1975, and a lot has changed since 1975, except the delicious taste of Miller Lite. It's the original light beer, and it's still the best one to this day. It's the one I'll be drinking this weekend on the golf course for Father's Day. So all the dads out there, hopefully you have a nice, delicious, cold, refreshing Miller Lite this weekend. You got the U.S. Open on. You got the Phillies down at Camden Yards. I got a couple tee times with a cousin and a buddy. Dads are going to thrive this weekend, and we're going to thrive with Miller Lites in our hand. The original light beer, and to this day, still the best one because they keep it simple. Undebatable quality, great taste, and only 96 calories. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that tastes like beer should taste. Less filling, only 96 calories. The original light beer since 1975, and you don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered directly to your door, visit MillerLite.com/PHLY-Phils, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories per 12 ounces, fewer calories and carbs than a premium regular beer. And a happy early Father's Day to Mr. Washington, to your brother, to Mr. Zulli, to all the dads out there that are in the chat. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend.
Question. Do I get to celebrate this year?
Yeah.
It's a genuine question. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
So we are definitely gonna have different answers on this because you guys know I'm a holiday junkie. My rule on Mother's Day and Father's Day is it's fathers and father figures. So if you are an uncle, if you are a dad, if you are a grandfather, obviously you're celebrating. But then you are obviously.
So
I know
my question was a little bit
expecting.
different, right? Because obviously the kid's not born yet.
I think you celebrate.
Is that a celebratory event?
See, now you don't have the true dad equity of getting woken up in the middle of the night.
I feel like I get to like
poop.
I get to like Father's Day Junior.
I have done all that.
You're like, to use the war analogy, you're like the young guy that just signed up. And
I'm like in boot camp.
Yeah, you're like getting your head shaved. You're in boot camp. I've been in the trenches, man. I've had poop under my fingernails. I've seen some nasty stuff. I've picked boogers out. I've done it, man. I've been in the trenches. You're about to enter war. So I would say you're signed up.
Okay.
So
I'm enlisted, is what you're saying.
Yes, you're enlisted.
I just haven't quite gotten.
I would give you a 33% celebration.
Okay, that's fair.
So you don't like my whole aunts and uncles get to celebrate too?
It's
nice
we don't have
in
a
theory.
day. I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Why is there not an aunt? Like, we do a lot.
I believe me.
Don't disagree.
I
always explain Mother's Day is like partly. I'm not gonna don't give me gifts, but I'll take a nice.
You just want to be acknowledged.
Just acknowledge me.
A nice Miller Lite. Yeah, Tyler, I would say enjoy it.
I do also
enjoy the
say-
sleep. Take a nap on the couch.
I think I might.
With the Phillies on, the golf on. Get that in.
I do also say like happy future, so the future dads.
Sure.
It is your day also. So okay.
I say enjoy it. No gift from Bridget.
I'm not expecting anything.
Okay,
there you go. Like I feel like you don't get a gift unless you've been in the trenches.
I just want to like take a
Put
nap
those
or
feet
play
up,
some
man.
golf
Enjoy your
or
time
something.
on the couch uninterrupted.
Oh,
Have yourself a weekend.
Yeah, because you're looking to the future, and where you guys can look to the future financially. That's with our friends over at TrueMark Financial Credit Union, because you want to make sure when you are preparing for all the major moments in life, family, trips, work, whatever, house buying, whatever you've got on your radar, that you have a credit union like TrueMark Financial that allows you to make sure that you're taking care of your finances, saving your money, and also to become a part owner so that you're allowing your profits to come back to you instead of going to shareholders. Know where your money is and where it's going. You've got better rates, lower fees, and a better return on savings with TrueMark. They also have flexible options as well as great technology at your fingertips that allows you to see your entire financial picture on your phone, on an app, digital tools that allow you to just simplify the process of getting your finances in order. TrueMark also has local roots. They're headquartered right in Fort Washington with 24 branches in Philly. They are serving our community right here in our backyards and the people right here at home. So make sure you are checking out TrueMark because it's easy to find a branch and become a member. And when you become a member of a credit union like TrueMark, you are making sure that you're taking care of the little details, because sometimes being a customer at a bank, the bank could move. You don't know where your money is. They charge you these ridiculous fees, and the APR and rates that they're charging you don't always make sense on interest rates. Or at TrueMark Financial Credit Union, again, better rates and lower fees. So head over to TrueMark.com/PHLY to learn more or find a branch near you. That's TrueMark.com/PHLY, federally insured by the NCUA. All right, and yes, happy Father's Day to all the dads, Jamie, Tyler, everybody in the chat, everybody who, grandfathers and fathers. And yes, congratulations to all the first-time dads out there, as well as Philly 007 like you, Tyler. Congrats. All right, so moving right along, though, as we're talking about some good vibes and some excitement, let's keep the positivity going. Tonight, it is a great pitcher's duel. Aaron Nola goes up against
baseball in the club.
Yes. Goes up against Tanner Houck. Boo. We've got Aaron Nola, who is sitting currently at 8-2 on the season with a 2.77 ERA. Nola has had 5 consecutive outings where he allowed a total of 16 hits, 6 earned runs in 35 1/3 innings for an ERA of 1.53 in his last 5 outings. The Phillies did win each of those 5 games, so let's hope that tonight that makes it 6 in a row. Tanner Houck on the other side does lead the Red Sox in strikeouts with 84, an ERA with a 1.91 ERA. He's 6-5 coming in on the day, and does get the start today, a right-hander, and he's got baseball's 3rd best whip at a .92. And he's done a really good job for the Red Sox. They do have an impressive ERA overall. But let's hope that Tanner Houck is not impressive today.
Yeah, he's Tyler's got some of the advanced numbers on him, which we'll get into in a second. He's been phenomenal this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Luis Gil, and
Heel?
Heel.
Heel?
G-I-L, heel.
It's pronounced heel.
Yes.
All right.
Like the heel of your foot.
I thought it was Gil. Gila Monster. Heel. Yeah,
Close.
him, Heel, and who's the other one I'm blanking on? ALY. Corbin Burns.
Tarek Skubal.
And Skubal.
Oh, yeah.
Those are your
Tyler's
top 4 AL Cy Young candidates right now. Houck's been fantastic for Boston. Their staff ERA was tremendous to start the year. Kind of came back to reality a little bit with Brian Bello and some of the others falling off. But Houck has been their mainstay, their staple. He's tremendous. If you like pitching matchups, Nola versus Houck. I kind of wish it was a day game at Fenway a little bit.
I know. It's weird that all these games have been at night.
Kind of lame.
Yeah.
But this is a phenomenal pitching matchup, and Tyler is going to share with you some of the advanced numbers on Tanner Houck.
Yeah, so 2 of the things that stood out to me, we have the splits and we have his pitch location. Which one do you guys want first?
Let's go splits.
All right, so here's some of the percentile rankings. One of the things that stood out to me, guys.
Red is very good.
Yes. But so one of the things that stood out to me is his whiff rate is not exceptionally high. He's at 39 in the 39th percentile, and his hard hit percentage is in the 29th percentile at just under 42%. So he's not missing bats in a traditional sense, like blow it by you, wipe out slider, all that kind of stuff. But he's not giving up runs. The barrel percentage is super low. It's in the 90th percentile. He's not walking guys. He's only at 4.5% in terms of walk rate. So what I'm trying to get at here is he's allowing contact. It's not like he's sitting here, tossing 101 with a devastating slider, and his stuff is good, but he's not out here like overpowering hitters. The one thing that he is doing, though, is the contact that he's allowing is super weak. You see the ground ball rate is up there, close to what Christopher Sanchez was heading into last night. The chase rate is high. Like, he's giving up contact, but it's not good contact. The hard hit, or the barrel rate, I should say, is not particularly high. Now, again, the hard hit percentage is a little bit higher than you'd like, but so maybe he's getting a tad lucky, but he's missing barrels more times than not.
Is he missing barrels more times than not because of his pitch locations, Tyler?
I think that may be exactly why. So you look at the location of his 3 main pitches. He heavily relies on the slider. He throws it about 42% of the time. But if you look at these 3 pitch locations throughout, the one that impresses me the most is the middle one, the sinker, because that tells me that he is running that sinker away from lefties and into righties. And regardless of which way you're looking at it, like that to me shows a right-handed pitcher who is willing to attack righties on, like on the fists and run that sinker away from lefties. The splitter too.
It's like Ranger-esque. Yeah. Ranger's going at lefties like inside more than you should.
And so with the slider, he's throwing a lot of front foot sliders to lefties. Back foot sliders to lefties and running it, away from righties. So he's setting setting the sinker up inside, and then, quite frankly, he's almost setting the slider up outside to bring the sinker inside because he's throwing it at a higher rate. But his pitch location this year has been really, really spectacular on his 3 main pitches.
Dang.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
He's been really good.
Yeah, he's got a great name, too. I think Tanner's I love the name Tanner.
I like the name Tanner.
I think it's really, solid. And then like Houck on top of that. But Tyler, as you're sharing, those are some really impressive stats and data to keep in mind. Hopefully the Phillies can get after him today. I know Zach in the chat is saying a Schwarbaum hit a first inning home run off him, and then 2 batters later, Harper. Did he say Harpertron hits another one? I like that prediction. I hope that's correct. I do want to also just comment on some of the things in the chat because I know there's some different things that are going on there that we haven't been able to touch on. One, we did get some crazy stories because apparently, Jamie, you're not the only one that went through a stealing phase because Zach is saying he stole a mystery machine from Walmart when he was 5.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Also, somebody else was saying they stole something, but I lost it actually.
I bet Mickey Durkin stole some stuff.
Yeah, there's been some thievery going on. Going on. So, yeah, great to see that you're not the only one that's been having some sticky fingers.
Of course not.
And then also in terms of the Father's Day, we are going to have a show tomorrow. We're doing our post-game show tomorrow. But I don't know about you guys. I'm the type that likes to give people holiday wishes every time I see them because I might not see all of you guys tomorrow. Of course, we hope you're there. Trevor, K-Red, Zach, Philly 007, Chris, everybody in the chat. Hopefully you're joining us tomorrow for our post-game show.
Well, I was talking about my Father's Day Miller Lights I was going to have in the read.
But also,
so I extended it from enjoy some Miller Lights out there this weekend, dads, to happy early Father's Day to Mr. Washington, Mr. Zulli.
Right.
And all the others.
Yeah,
and all the guys here, Anthony and Bo and Zach.
You know, it's also never too early to give a nice happy Father's Day and give you some kudos. But yes, we will be live tomorrow post-game, so don't you worry. You're going to get plenty of us between the rest of this show and tomorrow that we'll be chatting. But as you're talking through, guys, it is definitely a good matchup. Should be a great game. It would be really nice if it was a day game. It's been a lot. It's, a night game after night game after night game. It's late. I mean, I'd like a day game selfishly to be able to go to bed a little bit earlier. But either way, hopefully this is a chance for the Phillies to continue to do well against, another AL opponent because they have been phenomenal when you look at the stretch. So the Phillies are still sitting in a really good spot where they have, oh darn it, I lost the number, but they've been racking up wins against AL opponents, and the
Red Sox aren't great at home either.
No,
you should be able to take this one. I think they're below 500 at home.
Yeah.
Phillies are a slight favorite today on Bet Parks, Renee. The Phillies money line -118 for the run line. If you lay that -1.5, you get +138. So they're saying this is, kind of coin flippish a little bit here between Nola and Houck. So Phillies do get the slight nod in terms of who's the favorite.
I like it. That is great to hear. And also, that's always the right thing we want to hear. And you guys can have all the right aid and support that you need with our friends over at Rite Aid. And just recently, this past weekend, I actually had to go into Rite Aid and I had to grab some medicine for somebody. And I didn't know what I was looking for. I was just sent in there blindly. It's not something I normally buy. And I didn't know where to find it. And so, fortunately, the Rite Aid pharmacists were right there to be able to answer my questions. And I felt like I was a walking ad for the Rite Aid pharmacy and their great services because there was a pharmacist that was walking around doing inventory at the time, and I snagged him and said, "Hey, sir, excuse me. According to my PHLY read, you guys have some great qualified pharmacists that can help answer any questions that you have. Can you help me?" That's not what I said at all. But over at Rite Aid, they do have a great system, whether it's the fact that you can have a My Pharmacy account that allows you to refill your prescription, schedule a vaccine, get personalized care recommendations, sign up for prescription notifications, and just simplifies the process through that riteaid.com/mypharmacy. They also have a mobile aspect where you can utilize their mobile app to also transfer or refill prescriptions, set up medication reminders, and enroll in prescription notifications. And then, of course, they have great pharmacists there, like that guy. I should have got his name, actually. That was there to answer my question, because at Rite Aid, they want to make sure you can get your prescriptions at the same time with one-trip refills, that you have pharmacists that can answer any questions that you may have, that you also can just make sure that you don't have to stress about your prescriptions or any medications, whether it's the over-the-counter prescriptions or any of those snacks or products, household products, birthday cards, whatever it is you're looking to find at Rite Aid. And of course, we love the fact that Rite Aid is always easy to find. I was told, find a CVS or a Rite Aid or some sort of pharmacy. I knew I would find a Rite Aid because they're easy to find on pretty much every neighborhood. You can find a Rite Aid somewhere on the corner. So you can transfer your prescriptions to Rite Aid today. Just go to riteaid.com/transfer. And Rite Aid does have those caring pharmacists that are ready to answer your questions, like my buddy that was there, and help you stay healthy. Get your prescriptions along with anything at Rite Aid you may need, including those over-the-counter medications, household products. They've got gum and candy for those that have a sweet tooth. They've got all types of snacks and ice cream and drinks and great things at Rite Aid, anything you need. And you can find all of that at your local Rite Aid. So just ask your pharmacy team for more details if you need to get any medication questions or anything like that. Some restrictions, of course, do apply, but check all the great things out that Rite Aid has to offer at your local Rite Aid.
Yeah, and let me tell you a couple things going on here at this station. The network, whatever you want to call it, here at All PHLY. We just told you about the new T-shirt release that came out yesterday. The Raffy shirt for the Alec Boehm lovers out there in your life. And one of the great things about becoming a diehard is you get a free piece of merch when you join up for the year. So that's a perk. You can join our Discord channel here at PHLY. And talk with all of our hosts and writers. And maybe most importantly, you get the diehard level access to all the brilliant minds of Charlie O'Connor and Bo Wolf, Zach Berman, Derek Bodner, Kyle Newbeck, Les Bowen, Jim Salisbury, John Foley, everybody here on staff. They all do some diehard level writing. It's tremendous. Coming up July 13th, we have the first inaugural Liberty Open over at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey. It's a scramble format. Right now, you might be watching the U.S. Open. Get that golf itch. You can sign up as a single, a foursome. Maybe you're interested in sponsoring a hole. It's an 18-hole scramble, tournament gifts and tee prizes, a Taste of Philly dinner and post-round ceremony at the Pavilion, and my favorite part, non-alcoholic and unlimited draft beer for 2 hours post-round. Contests and team prizes out on the course. So we have a lot of great stuff happening here at PHLY, including Sixers draft night party at the Garage North. If you're going to be looking for something to do, the NBA Finals are an absolute joke. Maybe you want to turn into draft season and get ready. Kyle has a new piece out today on some of the prospects, if the Sixers do draft at 16, who they could be looking at. But you can join the guys on draft night at the Garage North in Fishtown, hang out with them. I think we have a post game that night, so I'm going to try and swing by afterwards and support the guys. So lots of great stuff happening here at PHLY. Consider becoming a diehard. And remember, you can find all this information and more at allphly.com.
Yeah, and I know, Trevor, you're saying how you need a Raffy shirt. Yes, you all do, and you can find them right as Jamie was saying. The Raffy shirts are on our website at allphly.com. In our merch, where you can check out the new releases. And no, you do not have to be a diehard to get to that shirt. Anybody can get that shirt. So just head over to our allphly.com locker, and you can get all the merch and information there to be able to buy your Raffy shirt or whatever other shirts. We've got the Defend the Bank shirt. We've got the Sunday Fun Day shirt. We still have the Attaboy Harper shirt, actually, too. So lots of options for you there that you can buy. So hopefully, Trevor, you can get your shirt and be rocking it soon. Tag us if you buy it. and show us, model your shirt for us in in your post. So
it's a little piece of good news that just came out, courtesy of the Phillies account just like 2 minutes ago. Outfielder Brandon Marsh beginning his rehab assignment tonight in Reading. The talk out there last night was that he was going to start on Friday. I guess he went through some testing and found out he can start a day early. I wouldn't imagine he needs more than 3 to 4 rehab starts. I even think 4 would be high. I think he's kind of a 3-game type of guy. So there's a really good chance come Monday. Shout out Jimmy Buffett. That's a Jimmy Buffett song. Come Monday. Come Monday, you're going to be adding Trey Turner and Brandon Marsh back to this roster, which is awesome because batter 6 through 9 last night. Mm-hmm. That's not something I really care to watch every night.
No, you didn't enjoy that?
No, I didn't really enjoy that murderer's row at the bottom of the order. So Brandon Marsh and Trey Turner, a very welcome back. Rob did leave the door open that Trey could return early. Maybe you see him at Camden, but it kind of seems like Monday, I think we get both these guys back.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about it yesterday in regards to not feeling like Trey has to rush back. It does help that the Phillies are sitting very comfortably, in a nice divisional lead. And so you don't feel any pressure of like, oh, we have to have them back. And of course, also just the fact that it's June. But to know that they are making progress and can return early next week, possibly, definitely for Trey, as we've heard, Rob, the report came out yesterday that was mentioning Trey is looking to be back early next week. If Brandon's already back in rehab assignment, playing again, I do agree. I think honestly we'll just know more from this weekend about how he's feeling, getting stretched out a bit more, getting some more game action. So fingers crossed that one, if not both of them, can be back next week because as we talk about the Phillies, jet lag and the schedule and just the fact that they also have been, a team now that with so much success, you need to have something to continue to help them keep that going. You don't want things to get, like a little bit stale or anything. So to inject some fresh legs, some new life in the return of an all-star player and an MVP caliber player, I should say, and how Trey Turner started off the season. You get Brandon Marsh, who always has the energy and the vibes, which should also help Alec Boehm as well as the entire team. I'd love to see them be back next week. Poor Baby Doll. Baby Doll's been doing great, as his nickname is. But David Dahl and
is that what you call him or the team?
No, that's what the internet says. His nickname on Google, on Baseball Reference, is literally Baby Doll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't make that up.
All right.
But it makes sense, though. You get it? Like Baby Doll?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Rock the Baby
I
Doll.
don't really want to call a professional baseball
I don't know who came up with that.
Doll.
See, for anybody that makes fun of my jokes or my nicknames, I'm not the only one out here with bad ones. Because that's a bad one. For a grown-ass man to be called Baby Doll is weird. But I will say, for how he's been playing, it's been phenomenal to see. And David Dahl, yesterday, we saw him again, hit a double, gets the RBI. Bryson Stott scores. So we saw David Dahl, and we've seen him be tremendous in this time called up. But it's time now to bring back Trey Turner and or Brandon Marsh. So let's make it happen. But there's some other positive nuggies that we can look at as well, because there are some great things going on around this team. Even when they lose, we're still winning, guys. That's what I'm going to keep trying to say and keep trying to believe. So the Phillies are still sitting top 6 in a number of major categories in hitting, and then top across the league in a number of pitching categories still, of course. On the pitching side, as we know, second in ERA with a 2.90 ERA, in whip with a 1.12 whip, and in quality starts with 38. They're third in batting average against. And then also we know Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler continues to lead the league in every category for pitchers. And on the hitting side, they are fourth in runs scored with 336 runs scored, fifth in on-base percentage with 329 as a team, fifth in slugging percentage with 412 as a team, sixth in batting average as a team with 254. And then individually, you've got Bryce leading with home runs at 15. Kyle's top of the league with 13 now. Alec Boehm's top still with RBIs. So this group, even without a JT, without Trey, without Brandon, who hopefully you can get back Trey and Brandon sooner, they still have had some great numbers in what they've been doing. It's been phenomenal. They've also, as a team, Jamie, hit 96 doubles, 13 triples, and 77 home runs for 186 extra base hits across their 66 games. It's been fun to watch how this team has been really playing, the numbers they've been getting. And a lot of it comes down to the relationships, the chemistry in the clubhouse, the connection. I know Matt Gelb had a nice piece that he put out about Strom and Hoffman, and he was talking about Matt Strom and Jeff Hoffman's kind of like budding bromance, I guess you can call it.
Oh, they're the Brandon Marsh and Alec Bohm of the bullpen.
But this is also, as you bring up Marsh and Bohm, this actually, it makes sense to me because there are guys that have that, they're all close, but you have your one or two that you're really close with. And so Matt Strom has been dealing with issues over the past 13 months where he's had a number of different bullpen arms that have been his catching partner. And it's been Connor Brogdon, Andrew Bellotti, Junior Marte. What's the consistent theme? These guys have all been shuffled in the mix in the bullpen. They haven't all consistently been in the bullpen. And so he's always had a new catching partner, and then got a chance to start catching with Jeff Hoffman. And apparently the two of them have just been like inseparable and great. And it thinks
they should get an apartment together.
They should, basically. And so now he's found his other half, and they've been great. And we've been seeing, the numbers. Obviously, you've got a .67 ERA for Strom and a .93 ERA for Jeff Hoffman. They're a big reason why the bullpen's been so fantastic. So I love the little bromances and relationships that they're building as a team. That does help. It does translate into wins and all the individual stats.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's talked about it a lot. That whenever a Cody Clemens, a David Dahl, whoever comes up, they make it a point to welcome them, encourage them, keep things positive. And I think the culture of the Phillies is immaculate. Did want to address one person in the chat. Greg MC, I am a big Hank's hot sauce guy. He said, recommend Hank's hot sauce. If you haven't had it, you can find it like everywhere now. It's a Sea Isle-based company. Actually ate at Hank's last time I was down the shore. So Greg, big Hank's guy. Thank you for the recommendation.
Love that. Some more positivity about Orion. His
guys
numbers
helping
have been
dudes, like Jeff and who is it? Jeff and it was just there on the tip of my tongue. Was it
Stromboli?
Yeah, Strom and Hoffman. They're guys helping each other.
Listening to me, Tyler.
Greg MC and me, we're helping each other. Guys helping dudes. This is what we do.
I'm not gonna lie. I just had a lot of information and numbers in that last little tidbit that I just gave, and clearly the hot sauce was all you were thinking about.
No,
it's fine.
No,
it's fine.
I just a quick brain fart.
It's fine.
Well,
no, I'm just
Greg
kidding.
brought up hot sauce, and I wanted to acknowledge the chat.
No,
because
that's
I am
great.
a hot
and you're
sauce
a big.
guy.
I was gonna say you are a big hot sauce guy.
I love hot. I have an entire condiment drawer. The side. What do you call those? The pockets in the door of the fridge.
Oh, interesting.
Now, hot sauce. Do you
got hot sauce in your bag, swag?
Yeah, I refrigerate my hot sauce, but I think some people keep them out. I don't know what's right.
Cold hot sauce or like room temperature hot sauce?
I just want to preserve it as long as I can, so I put it in the fridge.
I do feel like it's weird to not put it in the fridge once it's been opened. I think it's fine in the pantry or in the cabinet when it's closed.
I think a lot of people keep it out.
But I do know a lot of people that, and I know people that have like both, where it's like, do you want the refrigerated hot sauce or the cabinet hot sauce, pantry hot sauce? I don't know. I'm not a hot sauce
I guess
gal
it depends
myself.
on the sauce. You're not? You were sweating a lot with those wings last night.
They were medium, okay?
Those were medium?
They were medium.
Uh-huh.
But to you, they probably were not hot at all.
Frank says he keeps his in the pantry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. But ketchup's the same way. Pantry. Some people keep ketchup in the pantry. And mustard, ketchup, mustard.
Oh, we do ketchup, mustard.
Yeah.
All in the
Those
fridge.
bottles literally say refrigerate after opening.
Not everybody, but they don't go bad technically when they're left at room temperature. Syrup.
Greg MC says
Syrup's
fridge is
another
better.
one. Or syrup.
K-Red says I'm too old for hot sauce. Mickey says Mike's hot honey is so good on pizza.
He is not wrong.
He's 100%
our food
correct.
truck downstairs puts the
Mike's
hot honey on their
awesome.
pizza.
If you do a frozen pizza at home, hit it with some oregano, crushed red pepper, Mike's hot honey, chef's kiss. Elio's still with Mike's hot honey, so good.
I love me some Elios, as we call them.
Elios, yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things we don't know the name for, but we discussed it. They don't have a name for it. That was the place that we Googled, and they said they don't have a name, right? You can call it either one.
Yes.
But either way, I've never had hot honey.
The website says either is fine.
I've never had it on pizza. But
Oh, it's so good.
yeah, now you guys are all talking about food. I know Mickey's starving. I know some people didn't eat breakfast this morning.
I am starving. So the frozen pizza talk with Mike's Hot Honey, very much up my alley right now because I'm trying to think about what I'm going to eat after the show here. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sprint next door and get the quickest. I'm just going to be like, what's the quickest sandwich you can make? Okay, I'll take one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
All right. Well,
You should feel my pain. I saw your hanger pains last night.
I was so hangry last night.
You literally, your brain just like shut off.
I know, because I wasn't getting any food and oxygen to my brain. It's a real thing. It is a struggle. So you're right. And not to mention, you haven't eaten since like, I don't even know.
I had a burrito at like 5:30 last night. So
yeah, I'd be dead right now if I were you.
I'm getting pretty hungry.
All right, let's wrap this bad boy up then. Let's put a bow on everything, as some people like to say. So in addition to as we're keeping the positivity rolling, Jamie, I know you saw some great numbers on Orion. He's been fantastic. And I feel like Orion's been, to some, quietly fantastic. Like, I think we notice him because we're always sharing the stats, sharing the numbers, but I feel like because of how well, like, Matt Strom's been on this scoreless inning stretch, and, you know, the Phillies bullpen in general has been great, that it kind of has him under the radar, which I like that. When he's hitting triple digits and people aren't really talking about him as much, good. Keep him as like a secret weapon. He's that secret hot sauce that you can splash on that.
Yeah, Tyler talked about, I think last week, how much more he's relying on his fastball now. Finally, there's some great rookie relief pitchers in the game this year. You know, the one that's getting all the headlines obviously is Mason Miller out in Oakland because he's in the closing role, so there's a little bit more sexiness and attention to it. But Orion Kerkering actually has a better whip than Mason Miller. Orion is sitting at a .84 whip. Mason Miller .87. Hunter Gaddis and for the Guardians is at a .80 whip. And Brian Hudson for the Brewers is at a .69, nice, whip. So 4 rookie relievers, all with sub .90 whip numbers this year. Orion's been tremendous.
We saw Brian Hudson not too long ago, but a week ago. And I think he threw an inning in 2/3. He gave up just a walk, 2 strikeouts, no hits. I thought his location was strong. I thought his stuff was good. I didn't realize he was a rookie. I didn't know too much about him when he entered the game, but his stuff has been really, really good this year so far. 94th percentile in strikeout percentage. He's not walking a ton of guys. Another guy who's not getting barreled very much. 43 strikeouts in 36 innings. This is a really nice group of young rookie relievers who, I think the common theme is they're missing bats. Like, and they're doing it in different ways. Hudson's only throwing 92 from the left side. Mason Miller's throwing 147 from the right side. Like, they're doing it in different ways, but the common theme is they're not getting barreled.
Is Hunter Gaddis related to Evan Gaddis? They have the same kind of looking face. He's got to be, right? I don't know much about Hunter Gaddis from the Guardians, but he looks like Evan.
I feel like it's not an entirely popular
It's not a very common last name.
Like, I know a couple Gaddises.
You know Gaddis's?
Well, Ray Gaddis used to play soccer for the Philadelphia Union.
Oh, what do you say?
Well, so Hunter Gaddis is DD. Evan Gaddis is TT. They're not spelled the same.
Well, then they're not brothers or related. All I remembered was Gaddis, not D's and T's. All right, so they're not brothers then. But he's having a great year too.
Oh, yeah, it's great to hear.
But yeah, the fastball with Kerkering, I think, is the biggest. It's the biggest.
He's throwing it
obviously,
when he wants.
we know the sweeper is filthy. It's always going to be his best pitch. But his reliance on the sweeper, his over-reliance on the sweeper, can get him into trouble at times if guys are going to sit on it. Because the point is, if you're not throwing it for strikes, then guys are just going to wait. They're going to wait you out, and they're going to wait for you to throw that pitch over the heart of the plate, and then they're going to put the ball into the gap. They're going to line her down the line, whatever the case may be. It's a filthy pitch, and we know that, but you can't be relying on one pitch. When he's able to use he's been able to use his fastball the way that he has, and I don't ever need him to be at like a 50% fastball guy because I want the sweeper to be his primary pitch. But if he's using it like he's using it this year, about a third of the time, and then you mix in, they call it a sinker on Baseball Savant. I think it's a two-seam. I think just we had that conversation, Renee and I did, about the difference between a two-seam and a sinker. I think it's a two-seam, but it's semantics. He's using that about 10% of the time. So he's now throwing a fastball about 45-ish% of the time. That allows you to work both sides of the plate. It allows you to throw that sweeper off the plate if you need to, run it away from righties, run it into lefties off the back foot, because they can't just sit on the breaking ball over the middle of the plate. And that was the issue with
his fastball is going to set up his strikeout stuff.
So especially where his location is, he is up in the zone. He's not middle. He's not middle in. He's up, and everything's in that upper third quadrant. That's exactly where I want that four-seam fastball, because then, again, like you said, it allows the setup of the sweeper, which is still his best pitch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been great to see his evolution, and we wondered what a full season, like specifically for Orion, was going to be. But for all these youngsters,
he's been
like
better than expected.
We're getting to see them step into some big roles. You talk about like a Mason Miller or even a Brian Hudson, step into some big roles and playing a little bit bigger than what their age would show. So for Orion, we're fortunate that we've got a guy in the mix that honestly, as we talk about, the tweaks that he's making and his pitches has definitely paid off. And there's still a lot that we're going to be learning about Orion and seeing. So one final positive nugget before we get into some negatives around, just some numbers to wrap up here. UK Phillies, our guy Dave out in London, I've been following, especially after the London series, all that he's been doing. Well, he did a lot before and leading into the London series as well. But, the way that the London series opened the door for so many new fans and so many more people to talk about the Phillies and as Bryce was saying, come on over, come on and be a fan. And so it's been great to see since the series ended just how much people are still excited and talking about the team. And I know Dave was putting out a tweet mentioning how there's been, an incredible influx of new Phillies fans that have, you okay?
Yeah, I was just blowing something off my keyboard.
There have been
bothering me.
Gotcha. There have been an incredibly high number of new fans. And so they want to keep the momentum going. They're talking about taking a trip to whether it's spring training next year or some more opportunities to
Clearwater, guys.
Yeah, like they've been talking about some other ways to continue to get this going. I know Dave was mentioning they're going to have a group chat that they're putting together for their UK, Europe-based fans specifically to be able to chat. They're going to have more events and meetups. So
they should become
They
diehards.
already have the
us.
PHLY bar where they can watch games out there. But yeah, it sounds like they need some more ways to become
got the itch?
involved.
Become a diehard. Join us.
Basically, I think that's what I got from that. So I love the growth of the fan base because we know Philly sports fans in general travel well and are all over the place.
Guys.
See you, Zach. Have fun at work. But I love the fact that in Europe, there's this great new growth of fans over there. So another positive is the Phillies did what they were supposed to do. They did it well in putting on a really good show in the London series. We got some more fans, and hopefully they can become diehards. They can be down at spring training. They can make the trip over to watch, a game at Citizens Bank Park. Like, let's make the Phillies fan base continue to grow globally. Why not?
I think I'll talk to Vince and some others today. Maybe we can throw a pro bono diehard their way to Dave, maybe to distribute to
I like it.
some of our new British fans over there. We'll look into that. I'll see what I can do.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Wahaha. Come have some fun and cheering on the Phillies with us. All right, so then some non-good things. Some may call these negative. I'm going to call these opportunities for growth and opportunities to be better. Because unfortunately, as we're looking at tonight's game, there's one thing that we forgot to mention in a little bit more detail. And I know, Jamie, you had actually seen the original tweet about the numbers. And then, Tyler, you've got some more that are not great. As we talk about Tanner Houck, the Phillies stats against Tanner Houck have not been great.
Not a lot of guys have faced him. So small sample size. So I don't look too much into that.
Opportunity.
Stott's 1 for 3 in his career. Harper's only 1 for 2. Schwarber 1 for 2. Castellanos is 0 for 3. Merrifield's 0 for 3. Bohm 0 for 2. Sosa 0 for 2. Pache 0 for 1. I wouldn't expect Pache to play tonight versus the righty. I would expect it's another David Baby Doll game. Still a weird nickname. But yeah, they haven't seen Tanner Houck a lot, this Phillies team. So I don't think this means anything.
No.
But yeah, it would be nice to see some of these guys come alive. June Schwarber is out there, so hopefully he can get to him. I would probably, if I was to look at somebody hitting a home run tonight, with the righty-lefty matchup, I would probably go Harper, Schwarber. I'd probably go Schwarber just because it's the month of June.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let me take a look at the odds on that. We'll
with
see.
It being June, I think we're going Kyle like every game.
Well, he hits one every 10.4 at bats in the month of June, so that's
he's
fairly good odds.
Yeah.
He didn't hit one last night. I think he's at least at 4. Yeah, so he's going to hit a home run in the next 5 at bats. Does it happen in tonight's game?
Or does it happen
Or does it happen in Camden Yards? Does he hit the warehouse in Camden Yards?
Nick's been on a great tear. I mean, I could.
Yeah, but righty, and as Tyler showed that slider that he's throwing low and outside, I feel like if you wanted to bet a couple Nick K's tonight,
and a lot, by the way, a lot of sliders.
Yeah, I would think Nick's gonna walk back to that dugout a couple times tonight.
By the way, just for your 10.4 at bats thing, remember Schwarber did walk twice yesterday, so he technically only had 3 at bats in yesterday's game. So it's
it's coming this game or tomorrow.
You're looking at probably somewhere between 5 because he had 2 against Boston in game 1. So it's really only been like 4 at bats since he's not hit one.
So
you still got another six
tomorrow.
at bats. Yes,
more likely tomorrow. So Camden Yards, Kyle Schwarber tomorrow night. Mark it down. He's going yard. He's taking Kyle Bradish deep. See ya. So the home run odds on Bet Parks right now. Schwarber, I mean, those are still pretty good numbers. Plus 325 to hit a home run tonight. Bryce Harper's plus 430. So I would probably bet Bryce there instead of Schwarber just for the extra juice.
Okay. I was going to say, I mean, I feel like Bryce is due.
Yeah, this guy stinks. He needs to pick it up. It's been like a game.
He's due again.
I can't wait to clip that and put it on the internet and make you look so stupid.
Yeah. This Bryce Harper guy sucks.
Oh, man. No, I mean, I just feel like Harper in general has been ramping things up. I know he's been talking about it. Rob's talked about his overall approach. We've mentioned it. He's not complacent. So I think he wants more. And so if today is the day, go for it. If he goes yard today, then Kyle hits a homer tomorrow. Maybe somebody else that we're not expecting is gonna be big today. I don't know. It should be interesting. But either way, tonight's another night game, a chance for the Phillies to close out this series against the Red Sox. As mentioned, they have 12-1 series over the course of the season. So today could be lucky number 13 that they are able to win. And so we'll hope that Aaron Nola getting the start. And for the Phillies, that we're going to get a really great game, start to finish. Hopefully it'll be an exciting game. And then, of course, we'll start looking ahead to the weekend because we do have, as I mentioned earlier, our post-game show tomorrow. So you guys will be able to hang with us tomorrow night following the Phillies-Orioles game, game 1, because we've got Kyle Bradish on the start for the Orioles tomorrow, Grayson Rodriguez Saturday, Corbin Burns Sunday. For the Phillies, we can anticipate that we will see Ranger probably on the mound.
Sweet Ranger Friday nights with Ranger.
Yeah, we're going to see Ranger on the mound.
I mean, that's another good pitching matchup, Bradish Ranger.
Back to June Walker.
Hopefully, yes. He's the 6th best ERA in the month of June since 2017?
2017, I think it was.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then Sunday, you get to see Corbin Burns, one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah.
Is that a day game? I would think, right?
I think it is a day game.
Yeah. I had the Philly schedule up a minute ago, but I closed it. I would imagine Sunday's a day game.
Yeah, so it'll be a nice
early, going to be a great weekend. I'm really looking forward to it.
1:35 start on Sunday and a 4:05 start on Saturday. Of course, today and tomorrow are both night games with 7:10 and 7:05 starts today and tomorrow. So listen, more fun times ahead for the Phillies, more fun times for us to hang. Again, we appreciate everybody that hung out with us all yesterday and that came back to hang out with us more today live. And we'll see you guys for our post-game show tomorrow night. Make sure you're ready to tune in. We'll be going live top of the 9th, where we'll be recapping game 1 of the Orioles-Phillies series, but also we'll be recapping, hopefully, and talking about a nice win for tonight over the Red Sox. So fingers crossed. I have faith in the guys. They've been winning on a tear, and let's see and hope that continues again tonight. So for Tyler, Jamie, myself, Renee, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Always a pleasure hanging with you guys live over the digital airways all across the world as we're on Twitter, on YouTube, chatting with you guys about the Phillies and all the fun things that are the success of the start of this squad. So see you guys tomorrow night for more here on PHLY Phillies Podcast. Let's go Phillies!
We all silly like the